Brews and Views, a podcast where we review movies, give our opinion on what's going on in the world, all while drinking good beer. Crack open a good brew and open your minds for Brews and Views.
Say hey, everybody out there in internet land. This is Juan Cordero, the one and only, coming at you with another podcast for January 8th, 2021. Oh my gosh, I can't even talk right off the bat. I can't even freaking say my words or numbers or letters, whatever. Anyway, I hope everyone out there in the internet land is doing fantastic. Had a great, fantastic week after having, for me especially, because I had 2 weeks in a row where Thursday was a short day, and then Friday I was off. And I could go in and work on the days that were short, but, you know, you go in and then all of a sudden it's like, well, you know, we don't have enough time for you guys to work or enough stuff to do, so Happy New Year or Merry Christmas, and everybody goes home. So, yeah, anyway, so this is the first week in a couple weeks now that I'm actually get, you know, a total of 40 hours in, and a couple nights a week, almost every night. No, not every night, but I think most of us went home early, and I was like, I ain't going home. I'm gonna find something to do. I'm gonna pick up a broom and do something. For those who don't know, I've publicly said where I work. I work in the distribution center for Sweetwater. So if any of you guys out there want to get some microphones or any of that jazz, you can't hit me up. Just tell them I sent you, and maybe they'll give me a discount on the next things that I buy for my podcast. But anyway, nonetheless, I'm so happy that we're back to a full week of work, because they started taking out all my benefits and stuff this check, which that means I have to work that much more so I can make more money. But anyway, who cares? I just have to say something right off the bat, and we're just going to get right into it. Here it is.
Fuck Donald Trump!
All right, that's I'm just going to leave it at that, because I just really want to see how, like, all this stuff unfolds. You know, Facebook and any social media platform that you're on, I don't care what it is, YouTube, everything, everyone's going fucking crazy over this shit. And I just want to just like sit back and just watch on how people respond to these events that are happening in history right now, because it's a lot of shit. I'm just going to let it be what it is. I'm gonna let it breathe. I'm gonna let it marinate for a little bit, and then we'll have a podcast on that here in the near future, talking about the things that are happening with good old 45. But nonetheless, we are going to have a good podcast this evening, afternoon, morning, whenever it is. If you're taking a shit or taking a shower, make sure you get between them toes, all right? We're going to be talking about Busta Rhymes' top 50 songs, in my opinion, because I know I'm going to say some of these songs in order. I'm going to go from 50 and then work my way up to number 1. And I know some people are like, you put that song in front of that song in this one. It's just my opinion. You know, I started listening to Busta Rhymes around like 92, 93, or maybe a little later than that. I don't know. It was around the 90s when I was in high school, and I was like in the Busta Rhymes, you know. A couple albums that I really got into. So yeah, I'm gonna go through the top 50 songs that I think that are the top 50 Busta Rhymes songs. We're going to talk about that. Then we're going to talk about what's going to be happening in the playoffs here in the NFL season, which has been a crazy NFL season so far, which actually it's been probably one of the only sports that actually has had hasn't really had that many interruptions in the sport, which yes, they've had interruptions, but they've nonetheless, they've played all their games. No one's catching up. They started their season on time, and all that jazz, except they didn't play all of the preseason. They just went right into playing some football. But nonetheless, we're going to be talking about what's going on. What are my predictions for the playoffs, and then going straight into who is going to be in the Super Bowl. Now, if you're friends with me on Facebook already, you already know who I picked for who's going to win the Super Bowl, who's going to be in the Super Bowl, and how much and whatever. But we're going to get into that because this Saturday, tomorrow, because you're listening to this now, it's Friday, or if you're listening to Saturday, you probably already know some of these teams that have already played. But games start at 1:05 and go on from there. But like I said, we're going to get into that as well. And then we're going to talk a little bit about a show that I've been watching that I heard about it a few years ago because it came out, I believe, in 2019 or 2017. And I didn't know about it. I just didn't really feel like getting into it. And just eventually just watch some other things because, with all the different social media platforms that are out there, not social media platforms, but streaming service platforms that are out there, there is so much to watch. And now there is so much even more to watch. So just think about it, there's not enough to go around. So sometimes shows pick up later on, not necessarily when they release, but they start to pick up traction later on. And I forget what show did it. I think it was Ozarks. Ozark that did it on Netflix when we were all in quarantine back in March. That got number 1, number 2 around top 10 of what's on Netflix and what people are watching, just because people were just, you were there, just like me. I was there, and a lot of people were just binge watching a lot of things, just like that fucking bitch Carol Baskin. But anyway, let's go ahead and get into it. Where should we start? Should we start with football, or should we start with you motherfuckers can hear me or not, or I can hear you, and we can go from there. That I can say, oh yes, Billy, we should go with football first. You know what? I'm gonna go with talking about Dark, which is on Netflix. Dark is a German science fiction thriller streaming television series co-created by, I'm going to fuck this guy's name, so I'm not even going to fucking say it. It ran for 3 seasons from 2017 to 2020. In the aftermath of a child's disappearance, Dark follows characters from the fictional German town of Winden as they pursue the truth. They follow connections between 4 estranged families to unravel the sinister time travel conspiracy which spans several generations. The series explores the existential implications of time and the effect of human nature. Dark debuted in 1 December 2017. Whoever wrote this on Wikipedia must be in the military. On Netflix, is the service's first German language original series. The second season was released in 21st of June, while the third season was released on 27th of June of 2020. Dark receives critical acclaim and praise for its tone, visuals, acting, casting, musical score, and the ambition and complexity of its narrative. Now, a guy from work suggested this to me, and I didn't necessarily just jump right into it and was like, oh, dude, you like we were I forget what we were talking about. I just told him what kind of movies and TV shows that I like. Something that has really good writing, and has a real gripping, plot and such. None of this popcorn bullshit. But anyway, he was like, hey dude, watch Dark, it's on Netflix. I'm like, oh yeah, I've seen that a couple times and I've been weary about watching it, but now that since you said it and we kind of connect with music and we've talked to different other movies and whatnot, so I can feel like this guy has the same taste as I do. So I went out and freaking watched it. Like I said, I didn't watch it right away, but when I did watch it, I was like, why the fuck have I never watched this ever in my life? Why did this has never come to my mind to okay, let's watch Dark? But it's a fantastic show, 3 seasons long, and they're all an hour long, but next thing you know, you're in the 2nd episode. Next thing you know, you're in the 3rd episode. Next thing you know, it's 4:30 in the morning and you haven't even gone to bed yet, and you got to be at work at 3 o'clock. Ooh, excuse me. You got to be at work at 3 p.m., that day. Yeah, I ended up binge watching maybe 5 or 6 episodes one night. And I was like, the first time I saw this dude, I was like, dude, what the fuck is going on with this family? And he was like, oh, so where'd you get? And I told him all about it. And he's like, dude, I just can't wait until you get further. So everything that you just said to me, which is kind of, on point, but everything is just going to unravel from there. And you're just going to be like, what the fuck just happened? And I love stories. I love books and movies that do that has you so invested in a character or an idea. And it's like, it's implied while you're watching the movie that this is the idea. This is where we're going. All right, get in my truck. Get in the back. We're going to this place. We're going to this idea. We're all here. We're watching it, and we're all on the same fucking boat with this same idea. And then all of a sudden, they drop the fucking hammer on you. Boom. And it completely turns you for a spiral. And you have to watch little things and just notice little things and hear things that other characters say to each other that are connecting, that are basically giving you the plot away and giving you what you think is right is actually not true. And I love shows, TV shows, and books that do that because that just shows great writing, that shows intelligence, that shows all that jazz. So anyway, I love this show. If you haven't seen Dark on Netflix, it is amazing. It is originally shot in German, so it has subtitles, but not subtitles. It is dubbed in English, but then there are some subtitles for, like, when they pick up their phone or if they're reading a letter and stuff like that. They'll have subtitles, so you'll have to read it. So if you're a person that really doesn't like to read subtitles, I would say get the fuck over it and watch it because it's a great movie. Maybe pause it, when those parts come on, but it's a great show. So you should definitely watch it. I'm like at the last episode of the first season, and I did this all this week, and I think in 3 weeks I'm going to be done with all 3 seasons. So just wait until, a couple weeks and I'll tell you more about Dark and like how much more you should watch it, or I'm going to be pissed at the end to be like, don't ever fucking watch this show. It's fucking awful because of the way it ended. Who knows? We're about to find out. So on January 8th, 2021 at 1:24 a.m., I'm saying continue watching. Watch Dark, but we're going to find out what I say other than that. There is some other things on Netflix that are pretty interesting to watch. I was watching the show hosted by none other than Nick Cage, Mr. Nicolas Cage. Mr. was going to be Superman before anyone else, if you guys know that. Mr. National Treasure, Mr. Johnny Blaze, Mr. Ghost Rider, Mr. all these jazz. But he is a host of this show of curse words, and kind of gives you the origin of them. And they have these professionals that know about the language and words and all this, and where these words originated from, and tell you about where the stories are false and what this word came from. And it is pretty fucking funny because the first episode is about the word fuck, and they were like, they said that the word fuck was derivative from an acronym. That it was an acronym for it was a phrase first, and then turned into an acronym, which was, so F was fornicating, U under, consent, under consent, and then of the king. So apparently, I'm not gonna ruin it for you guys. Go watch that. It's Nick Cage. It's probably right when you open up Netflix. It's probably going to be one of the 4 things that you see. I guess for me, I guess everyone has like a different algorithm of things that they watch and whatever, but nonetheless, it's a fucking great show. You should watch it. It's hilarious. And they have comedians and actors and everything talk about these words and how they use them every day. And it's pretty fucking good. It just reminds me, I wish they would have put in a bit that Bernie Mac did a long time ago when he was with the Kings of Comedy, and he was like, white folks, you might see a bunch of black people, they be like, they be loud and whatever. They may sound scary, but they won't do nothing. They ain't gonna hurt you. And he's like, but if you listen to one of our conversations, it might go something like this. You seen that motherfucker, Johnny? I thought they were going to do that bit. Kind of give praise to Bernie Mac, because he said motherfucker. He said fuck like I don't know how many times, but you got to go see it. You have to see it. And I just wish they would have gave Bernie Mac a shout out with the motherfucker thing. They did shout out, obviously, Samuel L. Jackson and some other people that use fuck a lot in their movies and TV shows and whatnot. Not TV shows, but mostly movies. But yeah, Netflix is gearing up for the rest of the winter and stuff that's coming out. I'm not really sure what's coming up next on Netflix, but there is a lot of things that I haven't seen on Netflix, because I haven't had Netflix for a while, and then just recently I just got it back because I was able to. I had the extra cash to do so. So I'm starting to watch some Netflix and kind of binge watching a lot of things. So Netflix, keep up the good work, man. Keep up the good work. But let's talk about some football. Football, like I said at the beginning, football was a little weird this year in 2020 to 2021 season, or just the 2020 season. It's just because of the COVID regulations, and what you can do and can't do off and on field, and for the most part, like, all teams have played all of their games, and some players did elect to not play in this season at all because of they were afraid to catch and spread the virus to their parents and loved ones, which is a very responsible thing to do, because playing a game like that, and I understand that that's what you do and that's what you get paid to do, but at the same time, you probably got enough cash, to continue with your life. But nonetheless, let's get down to the nitty gritty here with what's going on for the NFL playoffs. Now, I had a guy who reviewed my podcast, and he was like, the crumbling of paper sounds so horrible. Dude, I'm doing this live. Like, use iPad. Like, I can't do it. I can't put myself to do it. And every time I do, it's like I look at my iPad and I do a lot of searching and stuff, like online, if I want to like fact check myself or whatever. But anyway, I like to write things down, because then I can throw them away and I don't have to like worry about like. Anyway, I don't even know why am I saying all this? Let's just get to football, Juan. Quit freaking rambling. I think I'm going off tangent here, because I think I don't have enough information or enough topics for this week. But yeah, let's just get into this football. So on the 9th, which is just tomorrow, the Colts will be playing the Bills at 105, and then my prediction will be Buffalo over Indy. Buffalo with 30, knocking out Indy with 20 points. And then also on the 9th at 4:40, the Rams will play the Seahawks. And the Rams will be the victor in this, beating the Seattle Seahawks 26-23. Also, in the late game at 8:15, the Buccaneers will be playing the football team. Which football team are you saying? The Washington football team. That's so funny that after all these years that people are making so fucking much of a fuss about the Redskins being a name. It's like, you can't do it. You're just whatever. Anyway, I'm not for it. I don't know if it is a derogatory name towards the Indians, but you don't see Indians really like protesting against it. Anyway, that's a whole other thing. I don't want to even unravel that fucking ball of yarn, so we're not even going to get into that. So the Bucks will play the football team of Washington, and I got the Bucks beating Washington 23-16. The Ravens and the Titans will be playing at 1:05 on Sunday, and I have the Ravens beating the Titans, Tennessee Titans, 34-23. Now, if most of you know, I am a Bears fan. I am all Chicago when it comes teams. Bears, I'm Cubs, not White Sox. Oh, fuck no. Fuck no. My buddy Tony's like, yeah, what's a White Sox fan now? No, Bulls fan, and obviously Blackhawks. I don't really get into hockey that much, but nonetheless, I'm all across the board. I'm all Chicago. So Chicago will be playing the Saints this coming Sunday at 4:40. Bum 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 bum. Da 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 da. Do. I don't even know how the rest of the song goes, but the Bears will play the Saints at 4:40, and I got the Saints beating Chicago Bears 34-17. We shouldn't even be in the playoffs, but for some reason, I don't know who lost. I think it was the Lions or something that lost, and then Green Bay won to like make us like in the playoffs. So we needed to beat Green Bay this past Sunday to actually get into the playoffs, and it was like projected that whatever team it was, I believe it was either the Vikings or someone that was going to lose and someone won. I don't know. If you know, message me on Facebook and let me know which one it was, but nonetheless, Chicago got in regardless because if someone lost, and I was watching the game, and it's like, when this game started, the Chicago Cubs, the Chicago Bears needed to win this game to get into the playoffs. Now they can just put in the third string and they're going to the playoffs regardless. We shouldn't be in the playoffs. This is going to be handed over to the Bears, 34-17. I mean, handed over to the Saints, 34-17. And then the night game, the Browns and the Steelers will play at 8:15, and I have the Browns winning over the Pittsburgh Steelers 27-24. Now, if my buddy Corey's listening right now, he's probably like, fuck this guy, and turns it off and throws his phone or headphones across the room. I'm sorry, Corey, but when it comes to these games, it just seems like the Steelers are not doing so well when it comes to like on a point games. Yeah, you guys went, for the longest. You went undefeated for a long time, but for a good stretch of 2020. But you need to win where it counts, and you guys haven't been winning where it counts. And my buddy Corey is like, it's a conspiracy against the Steelers. I don't know. I don't want to make too much fun of him because. Anyway, he was like, I posted something on Facebook and I said, these two teams are going to go to the Super Bowl and this team is going to win by 10 points. He was like, you don't know shit about football. Steelers win by 30 points or something like that. But anyway, I always give shit to him all the time, and sometimes he doesn't take it so well. Anyway, so then moving on, we're going to get into, I'm not sure what it's called. It's like the playoffs, then it's the division games. Yeah, division games. I have Green Bay playing the Los Angeles Rams, which would happen if my predictions are correct. Then Green Bay will win 27, and the Rams will lose, only putting up 20 points. New Orleans is going to be will play the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and have Tom Brady take on the New Orleans Saints, and hopefully Drew Brees is back at that time, and I think he has like a rib injury right now. I don't know if he's going to come back. I pretty much think he's out for the season with an injury like that, and being 41 years old, buddy, it's time to hang up the cleats, man. I got the New Orleans Saints beating Tampa Bay Buccaneers 30-23. Kansas City playing Cleveland. Once again, if everything goes right with my predictions, Kansas City will play Cleveland Browns, and Kansas City being the victors, winning 34-23. And then, sorry. Last but not least, we got Buffalo Bills, which has been playing a really good football this year, and they've like progressively for the past like few years have just gotten better and better. Like, the Bills. Oh, y'all catch that Bills game? To like, fuck yeah, I was at the Bills game. Or I'm watching the Bills play because they're fucking good. I have the Buffalo Bills beating Baltimore Ravens 20-17. And then we have Kansas. Yeah, and then we have, then we go, what do I have here? So if Green Bay wins, that will leave so I don't know why I just drew a blank. I was just making sure I did this right. But then it leaves us with 4 teams, which is Kansas City, Buffalo Bills, the Kansas City Chiefs, the Buffalo Bills, Green Bay Packers, and the New Orleans Saints. And I have the Kansas City Chiefs playing the Buffalo Bills, and I have Buffalo losing, putting up only 30 points, and Kansas City putting up a whopping 41 points. And then I have Green Bay Packers playing the New Orleans Saints, and we have Green Bay winning. We have Green Bay winning with, what did I say, 33 points to 23 points. Don't ask me where I got 33 from. I just think some things are going to happen, and New Orleans is probably going to have a really good defensive game. And then Green Bay is going to be coming behind somehow, and New Orleans is going to be, trying to pick up, but then Green Bay puts it out, just like Green Bay did to the Bears last Sunday. Like, dude, Aaron Rodgers, man, he was just throwing up shit, and shit was just being caught. Like, I don't know. I have no idea. Because it looked like the Bears were starting to like put a push through, and they were trying to get some traction on the ground and getting a good run game going. And then all of a sudden, fucking interception, then fucking boop, 2 plays later, touchdown. Fucking crazy. Then in the Super Bowl, I have Kansas City playing Green Bay, and I have Green Bay, like I said, losing to the Kansas City Chiefs 34-24. That's my predictions. So we're about to, I don't know why I just crumbled that up, but we are about to see what happens unfolding on Saturday. So I got to go and do my grocery shopping early because the games start at 1 o'clock, and I want to be able to watch the games. And I'm not sure where I can go because I would like to go and watch multiple games at once, but with everything going on with COVID and everything, and not be able to like sit at a bar, I'm not absolutely sure where I can go to watch them, or if I can watch all these games at home. Not sure. I don't know what I'm going to do, but we're about to find out. If you guys know, let me know, and then maybe I'll meet you up for a brewski or two and watch a little bit of football. With the times that are going on now, we do need to take some time to like give to ourselves and think about what we can do to move ourselves forward in our ever growing lives. It doesn't matter how old you are or how young you are. There's always room for improvement. Now, if you get stuck in your own little bubble and you stay there because it's comforting and you don't do anything that scares you, you need to do something that scares you, because that's what life's about. You have to do it. If you just sit around and don't do anything, you'll never experience the full potential of life and what full potential that you could be, what you could do, and who you could be enjoying with and all that jazz. So my personal goal this year is to, I definitely want to be a better person to myself and to my family and my friends. I just want to be an inspiration, and I want to be something that people aspire, that I inspire people to do things. I don't want to be a role model or anything like that. I just want to be able to, be a shoulder for people to talk to, like if you need someone to talk. But sometimes that can be bad, because I do like to talk. Once you get me going, I just like beam boom boom boom, and I'm just talking all the time. So I'm sorry if anyone's ever like come to me to talk and like I start to listen, and then all of a sudden something catches my interest, and all of a sudden I'm just like blah 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 blah, blah, and I won't shut up. I'm sorry. Because I can get that way. So yeah, I just want to be a better person and move forward and grow. So that's what I'm trying to do. And I'm also trying to grow my podcast a little more. So I made a post on one of these podcasting pages on Facebook, and I asked the question, how long did it take you or your podcast or your fellow people in your podcast to get to 1,000 downloads? And I think I mentioned this in my last podcast that I'm reaching, I'm 4 downloads away from 1,000 downloads. Now, I asked that, how long did it take for you to get to 1,000 downloads? And there's people there that was like 2 weeks. I got to 1,000 downloads with only like 4 episodes. And I'm like, how the fuck? What? I'm going on 45. This is episode 45. But I have 55 episodes total with all the Fort Wayne Comedy Club episodes. And then I have an episode where I play some music, which I think that's illegal, but it's still up there and I haven't been flagged. So we're about to see what happens with all that. But nonetheless, I'm just trying to figure out a way to promote my podcast more, to get my podcast out there a little bit more, and do something a little different, and not just do the same old things all the time. Because for a while there, I was just talking about Mandalorian, like every freaking week, because The Mandalorian was on. So like, if I was still, I get it. If I was still continue to talk about The Mandalorian when it's not on, then I would understand my listener base would be like, bruh, we all don't like The Mandalorian as much as you do. There might be people who would like, yeah, dude, The Mandalorian. Yeah, let's talk about it. But I don't think the majority of the people want to hear me talk about The Mandalorian every weekend. So I'm trying to come up with new topics and things to talk about like every week. And I went through and I saw one of my podcasts that got like over 200 downloads, and over like I think it was like 200 downloads. Yeah, it was over 200 downloads. And it was the one that I did on Jay-Z's top 50 songs, because if you know, Jay-Z's got like 13, 14 different albums, and he's been featured on other albums as well, and pretty much they're known because Jay-Z's on that track. So I did top 50 Jay-Z songs, and that got over 200 listens and 200 downloads. So I want to do something like that again. So I decided one of my other favorite rappers is Busta Rhymes. So we're going to get into the top 50 Busta Rhymes tracks that I personally think these are his best 50. I threw some in there that I don't think necessarily should have been on there, but I put them on there anyway, just because it shows diversity. And if you can't show diversity in the music industry, then I mean, I guess you still can sell albums, but you're not at the top of your game. You can't do it all, you can't collaborate with other people and other types of genres of music. And disclaimer, this is only my opinion. Most of you guys and gals out there are going to be like, oh, you put this song in front of that one and this one in front of that one. This is only my opinion, folks. I can have one. They're all just not yours. And I understand that some people are going to be like, yeah, they're going to be like that. But anyway, without further ado, let's go through all of these songs, all 50 of Busta Rhymes' songs that I think are his best. And at 50, we have We Made It, featuring Linkin Park. I didn't want to put this on there at all because it had Linkin Park in it. I'm not saying that I don't like Linkin Park. Some of Linkin Park I do like, but nonetheless, it's just like I said before, showing diversity, and I just had to put it on there because it's a milestone of what Busta Rhymes has done with his career. You with Anderson .Paak at 49. At 48, give them what they want, give them what they asking for, and that is off of his Back on My BS album that came out in 2008, I believe. Let's see if I'm right on that. 2009, I was off a year. 2009, and that is Give Them What They Asking For at 48. And then at 47, Do It to Death, which is on his Extinction Level event, which came out, I believe, in 2008. Let's see, am I right on that? 2008? No, I was way off. The last one was 2000. This is 1998. Do It to Death. And then another song here at 46, which I thought just came out recently because I've seen it plastered all over Facebook. Everywhere, just seen it on YouTube everywhere, just like Busta, because he just came up with a new album, if you didn't know that, which is Twerk It with Nicki Minaj, which that song came out, I believe, in 2013. That is correct, 2013. Twerk It is like twerk it. 45, and at 45 is I Love My Bitch. And that is off of his, what album is that off of? The Big Bang. I mean, at the beginning, it's like, I love you, bitch. Whatever. Anyway. And then at 44, you guys all know this song. And I really didn't want to put it on there, but I mean, it's really well known. And it's Don't Ya with the Pussycat Dolls and Busta Rhymes putting his little style stank on it. And then at 43, we got Get Down. 42, World Go Round. 41, we have Show Me What You Got. And then at 40, Take It Off. 39, we have Make It Hurt. 38, we have Where We're About to Take It. 37, Get Out. 36, Bubblin', featuring Busta Rhymes with Anderson .Paak. 35, Look at Me Now, the Chris Brown song with Lil Wayne, Busta Rhymes, Chris Brown, and Busta Rhymes just fucking absolutely spits on it. So I had to put this on there because he just, I'll give it a doing the thing that Busta Rhymes does the best. And then at 34, Calm Down with Eminem. And then 33, Genesis off of his Genesis album. And then 32, Do the Busta Bus. Do the Busta Bus. 31, Do My Thing. 30, Turn It Up. 29, Pass the Cavassier. 28, one of his new songs off his new album that just recently came out, Look Over Your Shoulder, with a little bit of Jackson 5. Look over your shoulder, honey. 27, Just Give It To Me Raw. 26, Everybody Rise Again. Then at 25, Truck Volume. Number 24, we have Light Your Ass on Fire, that produced and also rapped with Busta Rhymes, Pharrell Williams. And then 23, Rhymes Galore. Then at 22, Thank You. I want to thank you, Heavenly Father. Do your light, your shine on me. And I don't know, I really love that song, just the flow and everything in it. And 21, Holla. 20, we have I Know What You Want, featuring the Flip Mode Squad and Mariah Carey. And at 19, as I come back, 18, it's a party. It's a party and here to dance tonight. And then 17, one. 16, intro, which is an intro song off of When Disaster Strikes. It's fucking amazing. It's like one of the best intros ever done, ever in a rap history, I would believe. Number 15, everything remains raw. Number 14, Tear the Roof Off. Number 13, Party is Going On Over Here. Number 12, Still Shining. Number 11, Dangerous. Number 10, Woo-Ha. And I'm going to play a little bit because I'm going to play a little bit of the last 10. So here we go. And that is Woo-Ha. I got you all in check at number 10. And then at number 9, we got
Touch it, bring it, pay it, watch it, turn it, leave it, stop, format it, touch it, bring it, pay
we got Touch It. And then at number 8, we have with the Knight Rider theme, Turn It Up, Fired Up. And then at number 7, we have What It Is Like Now, Busta, What It Is Like Now. And then at number 6, we have number 6, Get High Tonight. And then at number 5, we have Put Your Hands Where My Eyes Can See Them. One of my fucking most favorite songs. I wanted to throw this up there even further, but it got number 5. And then at number 4, So Hardcore, Iggy Ziggy 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 Z. All right, and then at number 3, we have we have When Disaster Strikes. I love this first part. Tra-la-la-la-la. All right, and then at number 2, we have Break Your Neck. Y'all want to break your neck with this? I'm starting to bob my head just beginning. Break your neck. And then number 1, my favorite song of all time from Busta Rhymes. Give me some more. That is my 50 songs, my 50 top Busta Rhymes songs. And I know some of you are probably going to think different on like what should have been where and where they placed in the spectrum of all the 50. And I know there are some songs that are between, the 11 to 50 that possibly could have made it in the top 20, but they didn't. And that's where I'm sticking with it. Okay. Also, you can go to The One and Only on Spotify and look up my profile. I had a pop. I had myself popped when a artist that I've met at a con a couple years ago noticed my podcast on Instagram, and he was like, "Hey man, I see you like Star Wars and this and that. Really loving this stuff, and I want to make you into whatever character you want." I was like, "I want to be a Jedi." He goes, "Don't we all?" So I have a picture up or a drawing that's all colored in and everything of me being a pop figure as a Jedi with R2D2 next to me. So check that out. I have Busta's top 50 on there, and then I have some other playlists as well if you want to listen to what goes in my head and like what I listen to on the regular. So what I like. I do have a few playlist on there that are like jazz and then a little bit of everything. So I mean, if you really love music, my profile, my Spotify playlists are they're all over the place, but at the same time, I love all this different types of music. I was talking to a guy at work today, and he was saying that even if you are a rock musician, getting into other types of music and studying the way and the theory of that type of music, which I would say, and I was like, jazz. And he's like, absolutely. Because rock is about how hard and like how loud and fierce you can play the music, and it's all about the feel and how loud you can play it. Yes, there's a lot of talent in playing it, but I mean, on an electric guitar, you can fuck up, and make it sound good. Not on an acoustic. On an acoustic, if you fuck it up, it sounds like shit. You can't hit those chords just right. And especially when you play like a jazz, when you play like jazz on guitar, it's the melodies are a little different. Like everything about it, you have to have precision in the craft. You just have to, especially in jazz, because we brought this up because we were talking about a drummer from Slipknot who is the son of, which I'm not sure if this is true or not, but I'm just going off of what he said. Max Weinberg, which used to be the Max Weinberg 7, which was the band for Conan way back in the day. And, he said his son actually he was in a punk band or something, and like ended up drumming for Slipknot. And I don't know how true that is or not, but I mean, he said it, and I'm just gonna be like, I'm like, all right, cool. And he said, he learned some stuff from Max, and if you know who Max Weinberg is, which plays with Bruce Springsteen, he plays with a jazz grip, and he predominantly like plays jazz, but he plays rock as well, but he has like a jazz swing to his playing. So I'm pretty sure, if this is all true, that Max Weinberg taught his son, Mr. Little Max Weinberg, how to play a little bit of jazz. And he said that he hears little jazz riffs in some of Slipknot's music, which I'm gonna have to go back and listen. And if it's true with this new drummer, and see if I can hear some of this like jazz riffs in his drumming. But that's I don't know where I was going with that. It just nonetheless it's just a variety of different music, because you have to have like some really good precision in jazz to make it sound good. And if you can master jazz and master like the steel brushes and do the the little thing on the snare, and just kind of like just do all that shit, whatever. Those are horrible sound effects of what it sounds like on a snare drum. With the steel or whatever fucking drum sticks you that you play with, whatever that look like, brushes, steel brushes or steel fucking, I don't know. Anyway, just saying that you have to have a little bit of precision in it, and you have to perfect it. And then once you perfect that, it kind of bleeds into everything else that you play. And some of the best musicians have a jazz background, and they have jazz influenced in them, because it's all about hitting the notes correctly, doing it right, having precision, having accuracy, having all these things, and that's what jazz is all about. And I really just love jazz. So I have anything that you can think of under the roof. I have some jam band music on there. I have some jazz. I have one called the Cookout or something like that, or no, the Saturday or the Saturday weekend or something like that. And it has like a lot of stuff that you would like play at a cookout and whatnot, and just kind of like getting together, chatting music, kind of like brings people together, kind of get some two-stepping a little bit and whatnot. Then I have some protest music on there. I have a little bit of everything on there. So nonetheless, if you want to listen to Busta's Top 50, it is on my Spotify page. Just look for The One and Only, and the and is spelled with the symbol and, which is called an anther stamp or whatever it's called. Anyway, so it's The One and Only on Spotify. You can check that out. Also, while we're doing all this, I don't even know where to go from here. I think I've like exceeded the time of what I was going to do, and right now I'm just kind of just like rambling because I just don't really know what to freaking talk about, because I really didn't write anything else down because I thought this 50 would take a little longer. Originally in my brain, I was going to play a little bit of the songs on each one of those tracks, each 50 tracks, play like 10 seconds of them, and it was going to possibly take a little bit. But I started thinking about it, and I'm like, oh, let's not do that because of the possible, if I play a little bit too much, I might get like flagged for copyright infringement. So I decided, you know what? We're not going to do that. We're not doing that. Just kind of an update on me and what's going on in the world and in my work life. I've been at Sweetwater now for about 3 months, and a little like a few days past 3 months, and I'm starting to take out, you know, my benefits and all that jazz, but you started to see some things happening, and I'm not just saying this necessarily towards Sweetwater, but it's like everywhere you go. It's like everywhere you go when, you know, they need a lot of people, and they basically say, hey, you could possibly, you know, work, and if you're seasonal, if we need your help, if we continue to need your help, then we'll continue your employment with us, but you are seasonal, and then when the season's high, we're going to have you on. I'm fortunate enough that I'm a full-time employee, so I don't have to worry about that. So now that I'm a full-time employee, I'm full-time, and I get benefits, and there's nothing that's going to happen to me unless I fuck up at work. Don't go to work and just end up like pointing out or something like that. But I don't see that happening in the near future at all. But like, there's some people that are no longer working at the place anymore, and like I kind of called it, and most people were like, "No, that's not going to happen." Bruh, I've been down this road before. I've worked in the restaurant industry, and that's kind of how the whole beast works. It's the matter of the beast, man. It's just how it works. And just, we started seeing all these people that work for a temp agency. They're like, yeah, I'm getting hired in. I'm like, nah, bruh, you missed like fucking 13 days out of like the 30 days you were here, dude. That's like taking a day off a week, man. Like, you're taking off a day a week. You really think that they're gonna, and like, you get only 6 points? Like, dude, you got 13 points. Like, you done got fired and hired and got fired again. You know what I'm saying? Like, nah, they ain't gonna hire your ass if you can't keep your shit up. They're gonna gas you up as much as they can, and then fucking like let you lose because they need the help. And you know, you pack a lot of stuff, and it's unfortunate that, you know, those people that thought that they were going to like, well, you know, I'm just going to get away with it. Sorry, bruh. Like, if you work for a temp agency and you work at a place and that you want to work for, you got to bust your ass, man. You got to go in there and nonstop fucking work. You know, even though that I got hired in, like, I was doing that every day. I was making sure I knew who the people were that were above me, and knew who were cool. Talk to those people, always stay in their ear, you know, tell them hi and bye, maybe chit chat with them here and there. And, you know, I kind of lost that a little bit, and I'm trying to bring that back and kind of like take a little moment of time and be like, so, like I did that with one of my direct bosses. I was just like, so Mike, you got family here in Fort Wayne? And he opened up, and that's what it's all about. Like, once you make a connection with another person, they're like, that guy's pretty cool, man. I'm gonna look out for him, you know? It's not like I'm trying to, you know, be fake about it, but at the same time, like, I care about these people that I work with, that I do want to get to know them a little better, but not to the fact like we go out and hang out and shit, you know, after work or anything. I just want to know a little bit about you. I'm not just here to just, you know, punch a clock and go home. Like, I'm a real person, and I feel things, and I want to let you know that I feel the same way. So like, Mike opened up, it's like, yeah, I moved here from New York, you know, to be closer to my kid, because they live here. My ex-wife lives here too, and no, we're not getting back together, but I just wanted to, you know, be closer to my kids, because, you know, my kids mean a lot to me. And I was like, good for you, man. Like, you know, whatever makes you happy and, you know, whatever, you know, is best for your child, man. Like, I don't have any kids, but that sounds like a really, you know, good father move on your half. And he was like, yeah, don't really like it over here, but you know, it's a living. He's a cool ass dude though. But, I try to take a little bit of time and, you know, talk to people and stuff like that. There's another guy that just moved all the way from North Carolina here. He's been here. I don't know how long he's been here, but I just want to ask him, hey man, how are you acclimating to Fort Wayne? You know, like maybe ask him, what do you think about this place? You have any? You want me to, you know, give you some suggestions where to go, where not to go, this and that. Like, if you need something, let me know. Like, I know people's. You know what I mean? So I just want to let people know that I think about them and that I do care, and that, you know, sometimes if I do become like really complacent and quiet and just do it just because I just want to come and do my job, and sometimes I just don't verbally show it, and I know my family feels this too, that, you know, I do care. And I don't always, you know, verbally say it, but I really do. Hey guys, that is all the time I have here on Brews and Views. I hope you guys have a fantastic evening, day, morning, night, whatever it is when you're listening to this podcast. You guys have a great evening. I said evening again. It's time to go to bed. Peace. Thanks for tuning in and listening to me ramble at lengths about things I have no business talking about. Download Brews and Views to your favorite devices at Apple Podcast and Spotify. This is Juan Cordero, the one and only, saying cheers. Until next time.